Monaco, Mallorca, July 2026. The Mediterranean sun blazed over the red clay courts of the Rafa Nadal Academy, a place where future stars are molded into champions. On this unforgettable day, the Academy's most celebrated graduate received an invitation she never imagined would come. The message came directly from Rafael Nadal himself, the 22-time Grand Slam champion, the King of Clay. A player whose name has become synonymous with greatness, relentless determination, and unmatched resilience. Nadal personally invited Alex Eala back to the Academy, not as a student, not as a graduate returning for a visit, but as an emerging champion searching for the final edge that could elevate her game to another level. The tennis world immediately took notice because this wasn't an ordinary training invitation. This wasn't about routine workouts or another preseason camp. This was one of the greatest players in tennis history choosing to invest his own time in a young athlete who had already conquered Wimbledon's center court, defeated Iga Swiatek on one of the sport's biggest stages, and climbed to world number 28. But there was one crucial detail almost nobody was talking about. The invitation arrived at exactly the right moment. Eala's serve had become the biggest talking point following Wimbledon. Her natural left-handed advantage still wasn't being fully exploited, and with the US Open, the final Grand Slam of the season, only weeks away, every practice session suddenly carried enormous importance. Now, with the greatest left-handed player the sport has ever seen personally guiding her development, Alex Eala had a chance to completely reshape one of the weakest parts of her game. Welcome to Rally-verse. The story connecting Alex Eala and the Rafa Nadal Academy didn't begin in 2026. It started years earlier when she was only 13 years old. She was a determined teenager from Quezon City who had just captured a junior tournament in France. Her talent caught the attention of Academy scouts, and before long, she was offered a life-changing scholarship. Against all expectations, she packed her bags and moved to Mallorca, Spain, leaving behind her family, her friends, and everything familiar to chase a dream that seemed almost impossible for someone growing up in a country without a long tradition of producing world-class tennis players. Her brother made the journey with her, while her parents remained in the Philippines, trusting that this enormous sacrifice would one day be worth it. For years, she trained on the famous clay courts of Manacor, where she learned much more than technique. She embraced the Academy's philosophy: discipline, mental toughness, consistency, the belief that championships are won during the countless unseen hours of preparation long before anyone steps onto a show court. In 2023, she graduated from the Academy and accepted her diploma from none other than Iga Swiatek, the very player she would later defeat on Wimbledon center court in one of the biggest victories of her career. Few people could ignore the remarkable irony. Even after graduation, Eala never truly left the Nadal family. She remained one of the Academy's proudest success stories, a player shaped by the values and methods that Rafael Nadal had spent years building. Then came her historic Wimbledon campaign, the emotional celebration in Malacañang Palace, the presidential citation, the rise to a career-high world number 28, and then came another unexpected chapter. She was invited back, not as a beginner searching for fundamentals, not as a former student making a courtesy appearance, but as a champion standing on the doorstep of greatness, looking for the final pieces needed to compete for Grand Slam titles. And the invitation came from Rafael Nadal himself. Everything happened quietly. There were no media announcements, no headlines, no cameras, just a private conversation between one of tennis' greatest icons and one of the Academy's brightest success stories. Exactly 1 year after retiring from professional tennis, Nadal had returned to spend more time at his academy, carefully following Eala's remarkable progress throughout Wimbledon. He watched her eliminate Iga Swiatek. He admired her composure under the brightest spotlight in tennis. He witnessed more than 110 million Filipinos rally behind her remarkable run. But he also noticed what many experts had been discussing. Her serve lacked enough pace. Her left-handed advantage wasn't being fully maximized. Certain tactical choices were preventing her from reaching another level. This wasn't the first time Nadal had worked alongside Eala. Before the 2026 season, they had already shared valuable training sessions, with Nadal offering advice on her forehand and passing along insights that helped define one of the greatest careers the sport has ever witnessed. Eala later described those moments as unforgettable, but this invitation carried much greater significance. This wasn't simply another practice session. It was a carefully planned effort to address one specific weakness. It was Rafael Nadal essentially telling her, "You're incredibly close. You already have the talent. Now let's fix the one area preventing you from becoming even more dangerous." That message sent waves throughout the tennis community. Nadal has mentored countless young players through his academy, but he rarely becomes personally involved in refining an athlete's game beyond normal training. With Alex Eala, the situation felt different. Many believed Nadal saw something truly exceptional. According to people familiar with the academy, the primary focus would be Eala's serve. The same serve that had drawn criticism from several tennis analysts. The same serve opponents successfully attacked during Wimbledon. The same serve that remained the biggest obstacle between Eala and genuine Grand Slam contention. Nadal's mission was straightforward: return to the academy, train with world-class coaches, strengthen the serve, unlock every advantage that comes with being a left-handed player. Then arrive at the US Open, equipped with the confidence and weapons needed to compete for the biggest title of her career. To fully appreciate why this invitation matters, you first have to understand what the Rafa Nadal Academy truly represents. It isn't simply a tennis academy. It's a culture, a mindset, a system built on discipline, humility, relentless improvement, and the belief that greatness is earned one practice session at a time. The Rafa Nadal Academy is more than a training center. It is an institution built on discipline, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Over the years, it has developed some of the toughest, most mentally resilient players in the sport. The Academy's philosophy is simple: discipline beats drama, consistency beats flash, and championships are earned during the countless hours of work that no one ever sees. Alex Eala has been part of that culture since she was only 13 years old. She trained under the guidance of Tony Nadal, Rafael Nadal's uncle and longtime coach. She also spent years working with coach Joan Bosch, who played a key role in her development at the academy. Through thousands of practice sessions, she absorbed the Rafa Nadal philosophy from the inside out. But this invitation carries a completely different meaning. This time, Rafael Nadal himself is taking a personal interest in her progress. It's as if the 22-time Grand Slam champion is saying, "I see something special in you. I see potential that hasn't fully surfaced yet, and I want to help you unlock it." The Academy's preseason program is among the most demanding in professional tennis. Players undergo nearly 20 hours of on-court training each week, while also focusing on strength, conditioning, recovery, and mental preparation. Eala has completed these programs before. She knows exactly how intense they are. But this time, she'll have something she has never had before: the direct mentorship of the greatest player the Academy has ever produced. The timing couldn't be better. Before the US Open, Eala is scheduled to compete in 3 important tune-up tournaments. First comes the Mubadala DC Open from July 27 through August 2. Next is the National Bank Open in Toronto from August 7 through August 13. Then comes the Cincinnati Open from August 8 through August 23, one of the biggest events leading into New York. She is also expected to participate in the Stars of the Open exhibition before the tournament officially begins. With nearly 3 weeks to fine-tune her game, she has the perfect opportunity to make meaningful improvements before stepping onto the courts at Flushing Meadows. So what will be the primary focus of her return to the Academy? The answer is straightforward: her serve. Throughout Wimbledon, tennis legend Martina Navratilova didn't hold back when analyzing Eala's biggest weakness. She described the serve as lacking enough pace and penetration, explaining that while it troubled some opponents, elite players eventually found ways to attack it. Against Jasmine Paolini, that weakness became increasingly apparent as aggressive returns consistently placed Eala under pressure. The numbers supported the criticism. Eala's first serves frequently landed in the 80 to 85 mph range, despite possessing the athletic ability to generate significantly more speed. More importantly, she wasn't fully maximizing the natural advantages that come with being left-handed. Instead of consistently using wide slice serves to pull right-handed opponents off the court and expose their backhands, she often directed serves into more comfortable hitting zones. For a left-handed player, that represented a missed tactical opportunity. Few people understand that advantage better than Rafael Nadal. Throughout his legendary career, he built one of the most effective left-handed games tennis has ever seen. His trademark slice serve dragged opponents far outside the doubles alley. His heavy kick serve forced uncomfortable returns. His ability to open the court created endless attacking opportunities. Nadal understands every detail that goes into developing an elite serve: the grip, the ball toss, the wrist action, the shoulder rotation, the timing, the court positioning. Just as importantly, he has an experienced coaching staff capable of turning those adjustments into lasting habits. But improving Eala's serve isn't only about mechanics, it's about confidence. Throughout his career, Nadal played with complete belief in his abilities, no matter the opponent, no matter the occasion, no matter the score. That unwavering confidence became one of his greatest strengths. Many analysts believe that is exactly what Alex Eala needs most. Martina Navratilova summed it up perfectly. Eala already possesses excellent touch. She has variety. She has creativity. She knows how to use slice effectively. Now she simply needs to trust those weapons and fully commit to them under pressure. Belief may be the final ingredient. The talent is already there. The athleticism is already there. The intelligence is already there. What remains is learning to view her serve as an attacking weapon instead of merely a point starter. With Nadal's guidance, that transformation could become reality if she adds additional pace, improves her placement, uses her left-handed angles more aggressively, and serves with complete confidence. Her biggest weakness could quickly become one of her greatest strengths. If that happens, everything changes. The US Open no longer becomes a tournament where she hopes to compete. It becomes a tournament where she believes she can contend. That's why this invitation matters so much. Alex Eala has been personally welcomed back to the Rafa Nadal Academy by Rafael Nadal himself ahead of the US Open. She will once again train with world-class coaches. She will focus on strengthening the one area of her game that experts believe still limits her ceiling. And she'll prepare for the year's final Grand Slam with the guidance of one of the greatest champions tennis has ever known. When the US Open begins at Flushing Meadows in New York, all eyes will be on her. She'll enter the main draw with more experience, more confidence, and perhaps an entirely new version of her game. Her journey has already been extraordinary, from the hard courts of Quezon City to a scholarship in Spain, from a determined 13-year-old chasing an impossible dream to world number 28 competing against the very best players on earth. Every step has required sacrifice. Every milestone has silenced another doubt. Now, with Rafael Nadal helping shape the next chapter of her career, Alex Eala stands closer than ever to achieving something truly historic. The tennis world is watching. The Philippines is watching. And on the legendary clay courts of the Rafa Nadal Academy in Manila, one champion may be helping prepare the next. Laban lang, always. And here at Rally Verse, we bring you the stories that shape the game, the unforgettable moments, the biggest rivalries, and the journeys that inspire millions around the world. Stay tuned for more.